All right, so I got most of it done. Who's that? I didn't even see you over there. Hi. All right, so I attached the two tall boards, the two 2x6s on the back, and so that's gonna be the side and the back, and this is gonna be the bottom, so I'm gonna start adding the decking. But yeah, it came together pretty well. No one's gonna see back here, so it should come together pretty good, and I'll have the siding come up. All right, so here's the next day. It was getting a bit too dark to finish up yesterday, and I wanted to think about it a little bit actually. So I ended up actually changing the bottom to these boards just because they're thicker, and these boards, which are thinner, for the sides. So once I put these in, I need to cut this a little bit to length. It won't fit back there, but pretty much it'll be looking like this all the way in the back, just up all the way in the back. I'll put these coming up the back. Since this is the back of it, I don't care what color this bottom piece is, blue. So the rest will be brown back here. So this will most likely be up against a wall back here. So not even gonna see this blue. So I'm gonna use it back here. And then at the bottom, I'll add these. So I decided that I'm gonna leave this lip coming off the edge. Most of the weight is gonna be on here, so having a lip on the edge isn't gonna be a big deal, because I don't really wanna just try to cut it all the way down. It'll expose this. This is also painted, so if it does get cut, it'll expose the particles that's inside to the weather, and I don't really wanna do that. So I'm gonna leave it like this. I'll drill some holes now for water, for the water to go through, and yeah, I'll screw it down. Actually, I'm gonna probably nail this down, maybe a few screws. So let's check it out. All right, so I got these down. I got them pretty much measured on both sides where I want them. I want them hanging off just a tad bit on each side, so it's not going to touch, water's never going to touch that 2x4 underneath there. Alrighty, so I'm just going to screw in one in the middle. For each one, and then I'll nail the rest. concrete, that's going to give me plenty of room to lift that up. I think that actually went in between the decking and the 2x4 underneath. So I'm going to put another one. That one went in. All right. So this is coming along. I think I split this treated nail, this treated board underneath this, but we're just gonna keep going. So now, that is great. Just drill holes in this decking for water flow, so that when we water this planter, the water is able to go through and not set in there and create waterlog. So I'm gonna make sure to drill in between these 2x4s. 1, 2, 3. Because if I drill into those 2x4s, the water is gonna just sit in that 2x4, which is exactly the reason why I'm building this planter in the first place. Chugging along, we're gonna drill these holes, not on the 2x4s. That's already plenty. I'm just gonna go up here now. Whoa. Actually, not right there. It's already pretty far in, but it's okay. Let's do one more right here. All right. For right now, that's gonna be good. There's 4 up here and 4 down here with a 5th fun one that might be right on top of a 2x4. So we'll see what I'll think of, maybe to cover this hole up. All right, so I'm gonna nail from this, I'm gonna measure from this outside to this outside, which is, I think I'm just gonna cut it right on 26, so I'm able to have some coming out on each side. All right, here is our board that we're gonna be cutting. I thought about it, and I'm gonna do a hair over 26. So that's gonna be here. So a hair over 26, 26 and a half. Okay, I'm gonna measure the board at 26 and a half. I just want that extra half so that I could make sure that it's long enough. right, let's go see how that turned out. All right, moment of truth. I have not fit this in. I really have. All right, just a little bit on both sides, ½ inch maybe, but so I'm gonna cut another one like that and we should be good. So I found this wider decking. All I need is 26 inches. Yikes. So let's measure 26 and a half. Remember, you could always cut off. I can never add. If I cut off too much, I'm gonna have to use more of this, which would be a bummer. All right, I haven't decided what one's gonna go on top yet, but that's definitely too tall. Okay. Maybe I'll just use 2 of these. This is a little bit taller than I think I want. I think maybe something more like that tall is what I'm looking for. So I don't want the dirt above this 2x4 inside of here. So I'm actually gonna use this, the blue one that I cut that I was gonna use up here. I'm gonna actually use this. It's actually a gray, like a grayish. It looks like blue. It's like a grayish actually. I'm gonna use this for the back in here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna measure the inside of there. So it's about 22 and a quarter. So I'm gonna mark this at 22 and a quarter. My pencil. What was that measurement? See? This is why you just stick to the job. We're gonna go 22. All right, so I got this cut. Let's see if this fits in here. Yeah, so that's the backboard, the first, oops, that's the first backboard for that. It's gonna work well. You know what, I'm gonna just try to nail this in first. So I just bent the nail, so it's hooked now. That's how you're able to use nails different ways. So hopefully it's got a better hook inside of it now. It's great. And again, I just want to bring it so this nail cool. So I think I'm going to drill in 2 screws so it's also screwed in. Just say one more over here. All right. That board in the back ain't going anywhere. I am going to start to get the walls in. And so I'm only cutting to here, if you could see that, because my other board has to go this, obviously. So we're gonna cut it right there on the end of that 2x4. So we're gonna mark that. If I could find the pencil. All right, I found the pencil. So we're gonna mark it. It's gonna be a tight fit. So gonna get this down. Gonna mark the line. So I marked the line now. Now I'm just gonna cut it on that line. Gotta get the battery in it. All right, let's see if this works. Yeah, it's gonna go great. Let's just see what this would look like. So is that how high we want it? Is that how high we want it? That's the big question. So the big question is this how high we want it? Huh. Okay, something to ponder for the next 30 minutes. All right, so I decided that I'm gonna put this taller board on top back here. I just need to cut the last little bit off the side so it'll fit nicely in there. So I'm just gonna see what that looks like. That's more like it. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna screw this in now. So now, I'm gonna do something like that, so that the outside actually like that. Cool. Probably about right there. put this about right here, but first I want to put this where I want it. So if I want that about right there, first let's mark. So let's put it to about right here. Yeah, so if I cut it, yeah, that should be, yeah. So the mark, I put it right there. Yeah. All right, so I got my sleeve. Love my sleeve. So I lift this up. See how that screw didn't come out? See how that's not coming out? So aggravating. All right, ready? All right. Put this on this side so that from over here, I don't see this board that's connecting it. So I'm gonna put a screw on this side and that side, actually down here first. About right there. I'm actually gonna raise this to about right there. Oh, this is tough by myself. All right.
Good thing your wife's here.
Oh, wow. Can you hold that up like that? Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah. So now, this is crooked, but you're not gonna be able to tell from the other side. So I could lift this about right, actually about right there. Right there, yeah. So this is pretty much how high it's gonna be. So I'm gonna put a few more nails, screws into this, and then we'll be on our way. I want this side down a little bit, so about right there. Okay, so about right there. So if you can get your hand and like pull it back, yeah. All right, so got that one screwed. Thank you, wife. All right, so we're solid now. Cool. You see that brown there, but it doesn't look too bad. This is that board that I put in the center of it. I don't think that looks too bad. I'm gonna obviously paint these darker or whatever it might be. It'll look good. I haven't thought of what I'm gonna put down here, but it's gonna be something. We're recording. That was my measuring cup. Good job. All right, so cutting one of the last ones that I'm gonna need cut 15 and a half.